So here we go with the first game between TBL and Absoluts. And the home map, it seems, of the TBL is Marsh. So we're gonna see some interesting 2v2. And looking at the spawning position, LEDs are on the bottom and right. So LAD space-time has pretty standard position for a Marsh. Really nothing extra special. Pretty nice hippos here. And this seems like an isolated hippo, but overall he's going for a very aggressive build. Usually when you play, you start with your herd and goes the TC. But obviously this is going to be some interesting strat, probably some rush or some such. And kill you die. Well, as an Eggy, he has some bad gold here, which is very bad gold. And seems like the position will be just as fine. For TBL, Seattle's position, well, he doesn't really see any back gold yet, but he's obviously discovered the front ones. This is not really safe from the TC because this will be covered by the woods. And here is one of the first relics, which is plus 5% infantry hack armor, which is pretty useful. So that's gonna be fine for either of the players here, really. TBL's Golden Lion's position is pretty awesome. He's got the second gold literally in his base, closer than his starting gold, so he's pretty much fine. And looking at the TCs, TBL is, well, really fine. This one, TC in the middle of the map, is LEDs, but it's not really all that bad, so not really any disadvantage there. But this one looks kind of problematic for space-time, because it's obviously on Peninsula, and oh well, it seems like he has to go all the way around here. Now that's pretty problematic for him. And maybe just as well that he went so aggressive with this release, and he might be able to do something productive with this, because this seems not a very good position for him. And now, what else? We can look at the relics here. This one is already by kill or die. He already brought it to his home, and it's minus 20% tempo research costs. Well, that's gonna be quite fine for him. Azura. Another relic. 300% infantry attack versus titans. That's not really all that useful. And as I said, Seattle has already collected some relics, one of the infantry hack armor, and the other one is cheaper archers, trolls, centaurs. Okay, so we'll have cheaper slingers and chariot archers then. Other relics. Minus 25 wall and gate costs. Well, if some of them plan to build some walls, that's obviously gonna come in handy. And minus 25% myth unique training time. Well, that's not all that great. It really doesn't change a whole much for anyone. Kiryudai is doing some nice scouting with his pigs, obviously. And other than that, it seems like a standard start, and Kiryudai is obviously thinking about starting some upgrading soon. Whereas space-time, it's 3:30, so he'll be closing in soon, but just started building the temple, so yeah, it's already like a minute from advancing. Now, as we can see, Gold Lion already has queued his advance through Prometheus, and he's well aware of this TC and its position, so he might be pretty aggressive on Spacetime, and Spacetime is quite aware of such fact and already walling up. So that looks kind of fine. I'm wondering if there's actually a way, but there shouldn't be. The way Marsh maps are built, there should be a separation between the players, so he should be safe from this side, which makes Spacetime's position pretty safe from raiding. It would just take this one wall, or this one, and this one, and he'll be fine. But this town center is going to be a lot of trouble for him. I don't really expect him to go for some brutality like ceasefire, take this one, because that wouldn't really be a good idea, I think, against the Nati. But this will be crucial pretty much for the game, it seems. Yeah, Kill You Die is also advancing, 41%. Pretty much the same as Space Time. And how about Seattle? Yeah, they're ahead. TBLs will be up sooner. And depending on what strats they choose, they might choose to put on some real pressure through the raiding, but we'll see. Okay, so Spacetime basically went for this forward foot in expectation of Gold Lion's raiding, so he wanted to gather as much free food as he could, and went back to his base for some extras. So was this 10% villager speed? Oh, that's a very good one. That's gonna help him in his economy a lot, and actually it will help him against the raiding as well. Okay, Gold Lion is already scouting where all the villagers are, and he's gonna be in tough luck, because he's not gonna find any. Giludai is going for the second TC, so he's going to be for a bit of a boom. Seattle is doing the absolute same, but he'll be in a better position because he's taking the forward TC, whereas Giludai is going for a more defensive position. Gold Lion is also taking second TC, and Spacetime the same, so they are all the players are pretty much booming, so we can't really expect any early fighting here, other than obvious raiding from Gold Lion. Yeah, and first part of the soldiers are going for action. Well, God Lion will try something here, but he couldn't really make it in time. So he only knows that there is some TC, there will be some wheelies for potential picking off. But other than that, he doesn't really know anything yet. But nonetheless, he picked off a house in Willy, which won't really do much because it's right next to his base and not enough will be done. On the north side, Giludai already cast his rain, so you can expect some decent heroic probably here, soonish. And Gold Lion is doing pretty much the standard AT stuff, trying to put his opponent under pressure soon. And this might be pretty successful. Because so far, Spacetime is building just from one stables, and he's just building his archery and military academy. So if Golden Lion maintains his pressure, he should be in a better position. I'm wondering if Spacetime is actually thinking about upgrading his towers. He might as well this time, because you can see there will be some battles going on, and if he had those towers, God Lion would pretty much be unable to do anything against him. In the East departments there's really nothing going on, so they are just booming. So let's have a look at the battle and see how actually well God Lion does. Seattle's prosperity, okay, so that's going to be heroic soon as well. And here's the respite from the battle, so let's look if somebody is actually advancing right now. Yeah, he is already advancing at 50%, so he's going to be using... He might actually use some decent ancestors here. If God Lion manages to amass some decent army. And he's already going for a third TC, and that's a problem for the space-time, as I said at the start, because he can't really get here to take this TC, especially when God Lion is putting him under pressure. Kiryuda and Seattle both are heroics now. And yeah, Seattle MC will obviously use this advanced position to put up some pressure, while Kiryuda is trying to prevent some ways for some possible chariot arch raiding, which is a good thing to do at this point. But if he's not careful, Seattle might just as well take this TC, because I'm not really seeing Kiryuda doing anything against that if Seattle decides for it. At the same time, space-time is getting kinda wrecked here through the raiding. And on the north side, the wall is gone, so Gold Lion has a free access to his town. Yep, these are just standard markets. With such a strong echo, I would actually expect a bit more effort to the push from God Lion, but maybe he's just taking his time and would advance to Mythic and just wreck space-time there. Space-time and God Lion are both just classical now, so this is kind of a waiting time. God Lion is trying just simply wait and see what happens, because he has the town center advantage that space-time cannot overcome, and that should really come in effect sometime soon. Yeah, now this was some nice micro here, because he got this Turmas against the archers, but at the same time the battle wasn't really a clever one, because obviously Greek units are much stronger. You can't really expect to take out that many of them with weaker AT units. And yeah, Seattle is taking this 4th TC for him, so we can pretty much expect soon God Lion taking the 4th as well, and that's gonna be a tough situation for the lads. And the Eggy battle is going on. At this point it seems like more of a stall, because Kiryuda has a decent amount of Petsuchos, which are pretty much alright against any units that Seattle is fielding at this point. And Ancestors got Kaz here from Seattle, and they will help him in his battle for killing the Kill You Die. Not all too sure I agree with that, because of the Petsuchos and the amount of priests, and you can see just how easily they are being killed. I actually think that this would be won even without them, because obviously Seattle had much stronger army, and with Gold Lion helping him there, I don't see this game lasting all that much longer actually. Because on the south side nothing is happening. Space-time is basically stuck in his base, he cannot really do anything right now. And now he has underground passage. That might actually help him. He would be able to cast it someplace here, I would expect. And here, where his soldiers are standing, that's a good position. Yep. He placed it on kind of an open space. Ah, that's fine. This will obviously stall the situation, but as you can see, Gold Lion is already taking the 4th TC. So this is 4-4 against you 2. And that's not really something that's gonna be easy to play against. The underground passage was used to some decent advantage here. Some kind of a push is going on, because there is enough siege towers to really do some damage. And this might actually fall. Which it does. Well, that was kind of careless from Seattle. But at this point, he shouldn't really be worried about it too much. And Seattle is going to use siege ships. Yeah, that's a nice play. And that really helps on Marsh, especially when you have a good map where you can really make use of it. From this point, he might actually be able to shoot with a bit of luck and maybe mythic upgrades to that underworld passage, but at this point they will be just helping there. Well, at this point this battle is kind of even though the Ra is using his mercenaries, they are absolutely helping him. And on the south side, Gold Lion is obviously making use of his advantage, economic and military, and he's trying to push through. And through his military building span, he will be able to react pretty quickly to anything Space Time does, so he should be able to dispatch him kind of okay. As soon as he notices this, he's fine. On the north side, yeah, this is a defensible position that really Let's can do nothing about, so this is going to be just a stall, and this will give time to Gold Lion to pretty much wreck space time here. As you can see, space time doesn't have any upgrades yet. Yeah, absolutely nothing. Whereas Gold Lion has at least mediums. So that's at least something. Mythic Age is something that could actually help space-time, but seeing the military advantage, this might come a bit too late, but let's see. No more Colossi coming up, so that's definitely not a good, well-prepared Mythic. And how is God Lion looking in his advantage? He's not advancing yet, and Space Time had to use ceasefire. Yeah, because Seattle swooped in with some help. And now it's time for Let's to choose what to do next. Kill You Die is basically stuck. He doesn't really have anything all that worthwhile in his base. Can't really do much at this point. And this is a very deciding push from Gold Lion. And Space Time is actually housed. And that's the problem of 4 TCs versus 2. It's basically all the army Green has, and he cannot really make anything else. And this is all the army the blue has, so guess what happens now? And now Kiludai has a tornado. That might be fun, but really, seeing this battle, where he's just upgraded to heavy, is not really going to do a whole that much. Seattle tried balling the trade, which went quite nicely, and forced Kiludai to actually use locusts on it, but the damage has already been done. And chariot archers are just wrecking the caravans here. On the north side, well, this is a mercenary battle, as you would expect from Aegis, but this position is really pretty safe. So this is just a bit of a waiting time before this advantage is so big that Spacetime can't really go back from it. And we see Tornado trying to take out the TC to at least make some advantage in the numbers for Kiludai. So is that going down? It is. Well, that's at least something. Partial win for Kiludai. But as you can see, Seattle is already eating his base, so the Colossi are coming in effect for Spacetime, which is kind of unexpected. At this point you would expect Gold Lion to be making quite some heroes there, or possibly he has the population advantage, so some bunch of heavy destroyers that will just go for the DCs and distract what Spacetime is doing. Finally some upgrades here. Yeah, he's fully used the Hephaestus advantage of the cheaper upgrades. How is looking other mythics? Gold Lioness Seattle. Is someone advancing finally? Oh ho ho, there is the rock drop, nice. With some catapults. Trying to even the battlefield for Spacetime a bit. But Gold Lion has noticed already. And yeah, Wheelies will take care of those. Kiludai was able to take the TC that he destroyed through the tornado. That's pretty careless from Seattle. And well, this Migral is up, but won't be for long because these villagers will take it down kind of okay. And well, Seattle is under pressure here. Not really sure what he was doing there. And Spacetime is also going back on Gold Lion. That's a very nice effort from Let's, and you kinda have to root for them at this point. Come on, how about some Chairo Ballistae? They would just wreck those military units of Spacetime. Spacetime is doing what he should, and that's going for some building spam to secure his position and potentially get here for the TC. On the north side, Kill You Die has successfully destroyed another Seattle's TC, and he's actually eating into him right now. His main unit are obviously the mercenaries. And yeah, lads are definitely back in the game. Full swing. Yeah, he could use some more upgrades, but it's not really all that crucial, because Seattle doesn't have too many of those as well. Alright, this TC is most probably going down, because Lord Lion's units are pretty much stuck here, battling just these few units. And all those villies and these Colossi are going to take the TC down, and Space Time is going to take this TC kind of okay. You shouldn't really have problems taking care of this now. So this is Gold Lion at 3 TC. As soon as Space Time takes the third, Gold Lion is going to be pushed even further, because as he had advantage now he lost it all. And against Zeus in Mythic with pretty much full upgrades, right? Yeah, with full upgrades, this is going to be a tough situation, especially when God Lion is not Mythic himself. And he's not even advancing. Seattle is at least advancing through Thoth, so he'll have some decent meteors. But Kill You Die is already taking the 4th TC, and this doesn't seem good for TBL at this point. Yep, that was expected target for the meteors. At the south side, the TC is up, and 3-3. Oh, this is a bad spot for the camels to be at. Really, I'm not really getting this unit choice on Gold Lion. I would expect Gyro Ballistae against all that many infantry there. This would be probably the best unit. And he's doing literally nothing against the Colossi, because he doesn't do any heroes and such, so he's just waiting to get wrecked here. Kill You Die successfully built this settlement, so the meteors didn't really do anything, as was kind of expected. And now Kill You Die has the 4-2 TC's advantage, and with his mercenary spam, it's going to be a tough situation for Seattle. And especially when you look at the path of those camels, Seattle Strait is going to be destroyed pretty soon, and that spells a disaster for any Aggie in the late game. Seattle is trying to build a wonder. That is probably the only way they could win right now. Which is kind of weird, because they had a decidedly better position to take the game at another stage. Somehow slept through it and enabled Lad to go back in a really full swing. And kudos and credit to all the Lad's players, because this is really good play from them. And this is going to be the reverse advantage as well for versus 2. Gold Lion had it for quite some minutes, and now Space Time is going to be having it at a crucial point in game. He already has gold Colossi, so he's pretty much full up. So now he maybe He'll maybe be damn it. He'll maybe be able to even kill some of his villies to free up some space for military, and it's going to be a lot more difficult for God Lion to somehow defend. On the north side, the inevitable push through the mercenaries is really taking its toll on Seattle, and since he has all the houses right here, can be pretty much housed in a matter of moments. That's another problem he doesn't want at this point, even when trying to defend his wonder that is coming up. Kiludai is also wrecking any remains of trade that TBL might have. Yeah, this is just a TC demolition derby. First going for the tree, right, and soon we'll have some green dryads going on. Here, yeah, that's nice building spam going on by Kiludai. He's using all the advantage he has, and he's very right to do so, and TBL now see that it's pretty much done. And don't even try to defend the wonder. Well, it was a decent game, because it really looked like TBL had this in the sack pretty much soon, because TBL Goat Lion had 4 versus 2 TCs for quite some time. Spacetime had a horrible 3rd TC that was on a peninsula that he really couldn't get to. And Seattle MC also had 4 versus 2 TCs versus Kiryudai. Took an early aggressive play there, it really paid off, but somehow wasn't able to push enough to do damage. And let's game back big time, even though they had serious disadvantage in numbers. Very good play. So let's have a look at the post game. Yeah, Spacetime did really well there. Courtline had decent echo, but couldn't really capitalize on it. Oh, Seattle, he definitely overdid it. With that much civilian units, you have so few military units that you really can't do anything, so you should be careful about that. Yeah, Seattle Mercenary Cavalry as the most used unit.